The NFL playoff picture is heating up, and I'm going to be telling you who will make the playoffs, who will miss it, and who will end up winning the Super Bowl. Let's get into it. I will be predicting every game, giving a detailed analysis. So first game, Thursday Night Football, massive game for both teams. This has massive playoff implications. For the Buffalo Bills, if they want a chance to get the 1 seed, which a lot of people aren't talking about, but look, if the Bills win out, they're probably going to get the 1 seed. If the Bills win every game except one, they probably will get the 1 seed. It's a 3-team race: Pats, Colts, Broncos. If the Bills win on Thursday night, they aren't far out of the question. Now, on the other hand, if the Texans can get a win and move to 6-5 and have a tiebreaker over the Buffalo Bills, that's a big, big win. I think the Bills take it. I think the Bills keep their 1 seed playoff hopes alive and division hopes alive. I think this is a nail in the coffin for the Texans. Ravens, Jets, not much to talk about here. I think the Ravens win that pretty easily. Once again, massive game for both teams. The Chicago Bears, don't look now, but they have a legit shot to end up as the 1 seed. They play the Eagles soon. If they get that tiebreaker win over the Eagles, it's a straight shot. They're going to have to win out most likely, or maybe drop 1 game similar to the Bills. But I'm going to go Bears. It's a close game. The Steelers need this game. The Steelers' real route to making the playoffs is really winning the division, but they could maybe slip into the wild card. But this is a big game. If the Steelers win it, it's probably more likely than not they make the playoffs. If they lose it, it's probably more likely than not they miss the playoffs. I think the Patriots take care of business, especially with Jamar Chase being out. Lions take care of that game. The Lions need this one. Look, that NFC North it's ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculous. And speaking of the NFC North, we've got the Packers getting back on track. This game has massive implications for both teams. This is maybe as crazy as it sounds, this might be the most important game up until this point in the regular season. The Colts, if the Colts win this game, especially with the Patriots' upcoming schedule as well as the Broncos, if the Colts win this game, they're probably going to get the 1 seed and to some degree potentially eliminate the Chiefs, their number 1 rival, the number 1 most dangerous team, from the playoffs. I think the Chiefs get the game. I think they get it. This is a must-win. If you go to 5-6, especially with the Broncos looking as good as they are, that essentially is you have to win out. You have to win out. The Chiefs have already lost to the Broncos. They've lost to the Bills. They've lost to the Jags. They've lost to all these teams, which means the Chiefs need to have a better record than all those teams to make the playoffs if it's the wild card tiebreaker situation. So I think a desperate Chiefs team gets the job done. And the Colts, they're not out of the 1 seed contention. I think the Seahawks get it done, and I'm going to go Jaguars. So we'll go to Week 13 now. Massive game here. This one very well could decide who wins the NFC North. Now, tiebreakers aren't super important here because of the Green Bay tie. There can't be, unless the Lions would hypothetically tie, but can't really be a tiebreaker situation. So most likely, I'm going to go Lions getting their revenge back. I think it'll be a good game. Now, this one here, once again, for the Cowboys. Cowboys, if they can go to 5-5-1, they're still sort of alive. Now, the NFC is extremely competitive. You've got the 7th seed currently, Niners at 7-4. I think the Chiefs win. But, Colts last week, Cowboys the next week. I wouldn't be super confident that the Chiefs go 2-0. Bengals playing the Ravens on Thanksgiving. I think the Ravens get the job done here. It feels like a bit of a trap game. The Ravens, this would be the 6th win in a row if they can get it. I do believe they will get that win. Bears, the Eagles. These teams feel very similar to me. Now, the Eagles obviously have the unstoppable play, and they're a little bit more proven. Would be a massive win for the Bears. I don't think they're ready to take that jump. Another massive game in the NFC playoff implications. Rams going to Carolina. Look, Carolina, this is a big one for them. Massive game for them. If they can win this game, they put themselves in a good spot to make the playoffs. If they lose this game, it's looking bleak, especially with how competitive this NFC race is. If the Rams can win this, they keep their 1 seed hopes alive. I'm going to give it to the Panthers. I think they're the more desperate team. I got faith that they can get the job done. Niners going into Cleveland. This feels like a game that the Niners just don't take all that seriously. And Myles Garrett. Oh, there we go. I think the Browns win this. As crazy as it sounds, I think the Browns get this game. This feels like the classic West Coast to East Coast trip, 1 o'clock window. The Browns, Myles Garrett gets a strip sack for a touch, something like that. Something like that. Texans or Colts. If the Texans want any chance of making the playoffs, they've got to win this one. I don't think they get it done. I think the Colts win. We'll give the Dolphins that win. I don't even think they could claw their way back in. And there we go. And I'm going to go, that game doesn't matter. We'll just give it to the home team. I think the Buccaneers can beat the Cardinals pretty comfortably. This also kind of feels like a trap game. It definitely feels like a trap game, very similar to the loss that we had up here with the Niners and Browns. I'm going to give it to Titans. Titans, look, NFL teams are all really good. At home, you're going to accidentally win a few games. And I don't think the Jags are an 8-4 type team. We'll give the Seahawks a win there. Chargers take care of business. Massive game for both teams. Once again, Bills are fighting for both their playoff lives as well as the divisional life. Steelers need this win in a big way. I think the Steelers get the job done. I think they get the job done. It's going to be a close game for sure. We'll give the Broncos the win here, and we'll give the Patriots the win. And yeah, so far the playoff seeds look pretty similar to what they are as of right now. Ravens take the division as of now. We've got the Jags out of the playoffs. We've got the Chiefs out of the playoffs. And the NFC side, we have 3 NFC North teams. Panthers are currently on the outside looking in. Niners are on the outside looking in. So let's keep predicting. Cowboys at Lions. Last hope for the Cowboys. I don't think they can continue their luck. Seahawks at Falcons. I think the Falcons are too good to go to 3-9. Seahawks drop a road game. Steelers at Ravens. Look, this feels like the type of game where the Ravens can really put a stranglehold on the Steelers and win at home. I'm going to give the Steelers the win. I just think the Steelers, that's the type of game that they win. Irrelevant game. Massive, massive implications. The Green Bay Packers need this one in the worst way. A Bears going to 9-4 would almost assuredly put them in the playoff picture. I'm going to give the Packers the edge here. I think the Packers are a little bit of a better team. And there we go. Colts at Jags, massive game for both teams, especially at this point. I'm gonna go. This is a tough game for me to pick. I'm gonna go Colts. Although it's a tough one to choose. I'll go Vikings here. We'll give the Dolphins a win. We'll see if the Dolphins can slip back into the playoff picture. Falcons at Bucks. I think the Bucks take care of business there. I think the Bears win that one, coming off a tough loss. I'm gonna give the Ravens another loss here. I think the Ravens will make the playoffs. I do see them dropping a game to the Steelers and then a game that they think they'll have an easy win in, losing to the Bengals. So we'll drop the Ravens with that game. And Texans probably already outside the playoffs. Give the Jags a win here. Massive game for both teams once again. If the Chargers can win this, they pretty much solidify themselves as a wild card team. If they lose this, it gets dicey, and I do think they lose it to the Chiefs. Now, I do have the Chiefs win 3 tough games, so the Chiefs could definitely lose one of those 3. I think the Bills get their revenge from the earlier season loss. And we'll go. That doesn't matter. Packers or Broncos. I think the Packers take that one. The Broncos don't feel like an 11-2 type team. A Goff-Stafford revenge game. Not really. Both those guys are pretty fine with their situation, I'd say, at this point. I'll go Rams. Could go either way, obviously. Going to be a great game. Panthers need this one. In a big way. And I think they'll get the job done here. It does feel like a trap game, though. On the road, division rival. Colts at Seahawks. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. I'll give the Seahawks that home field advantage. Niners need this one in a big way. I'm going to give the Niners that win. And, speaking of the Niners, why have they played Dolphins at Steelers? I think the Steelers can take that game and move to 9-5. And we'll give the Vikings the win, although that game isn't super important. Rams at Seahawks, absolutely massive, massive division implications. I mean, this legitimately, with how this NFC is looking, this could be for the 1 seed. Now, if the Rams win, it's definitely for the 1 seed. But even if the Seahawks win, I mean, it's possible here. Now, why do the Eagles? Did we miss some games? Why did the Eagles? Oh, we did miss some games. Okay, well, we'll predict these games. I was wondering why some of the teams hadn't played the same amount of games. I think the Rams take that one. And this game, I remembered marking this game down. This one's a big, big game. I'll give the 49ers the edge. They're at home. I think that can put them over the top. And now was that the only week we missed? Nope, we missed this week too. Bills definitely win that one. I think the favorites all win here. And that's a tough one. Looks like it's Monday Night Football. I think the Chargers get the job done there. Okay, so now we should, yep. Okay. And we're back on track. So nothing really changed. Rams at Seahawks. It's a big one. I think the Seahawks even up the series. The Rams just won. I think the Seahawks even up the series. Packers at Bears. We gave the Packers the win earlier. I'm going to give the Bears the win this time. Big game, though. Big game. Especially with how competitive the NFC North is. With all 3 teams having a chance to win the division, all 3 teams having a chance to miss the playoffs. I think the Eagles take care of business here. I think the Ravens will get on a bit of a streak again. Win at home. And in what I would consider a must-win. Panthers are fighting for their lives at home against the Buccaneers team. I think they can get it done. As crazy as that sounds with the Bucs looking on the outside of the playoffs. I think the Bills take this one. Browns winning more than 5 games doesn't seem likely. I think the Chargers take care of business. This game doesn't matter. Feels like, Titans already got their random home win. Jags at Broncos. Jags are fighting for their lives. I think a desperate Jags team gets the win here. I think the Steelers lose to the Lions. Lions are definitely a better team. The Texans take care of business. So we got 2 weeks to go, and let's look at the playoff seeding. So Steelers, if they win out, they control their destiny. I believe if the Ravens win out, they also control their own destiny. We're going to have to see in terms of the tiebreakers for the division. And did the Patriots and Bills play? I think they played this week. Let's figure it out. Nope. Did they play the final week of the season? I guess. Yeah, I know they play again. I'm pretty sure. Either one could win the division. Both of them are pretty much locked into the playoffs. Chiefs, Chargers. If either of them drop a game, Jaguars can slip back in because they've got a tiebreaker over the Chiefs. In the NFC, the Eagles have locked up the division. We got a 3-way race, a very close 3-way race. Panthers and Bucks, Buccaneers are on the outside looking in the playoffs, and we've got all 3 NFC West teams. So we're going to figure it out. This game isn't super relevant. Vikings already done. I think the Lions win that one pretty easily. Big game. Chiefs, maybe depending on tiebreakers, could get the 1 seed. I think they get this one. It's crazy to have the Chiefs win 6 straight games because they're 5-5 at me recording this video. But look, I believe in them. I don't know what else to say. Seahawks and Panthers. I think this is where the Panthers' dreams fall apart at the seams. I think the Ravens get this win. Chargers take care of business. This game doesn't matter. I think the Steelers win this one. Colts are at home. We'll give them the win. Give the Bucs the win there. Did the Jets accidentally win this one? I'm going to go no. I think the Patriots win. I think the Bills win. This game doesn't matter. This game is essentially winning you're in the playoffs, especially for the Bears. But winning you're in. I'm going to go Bears. I think the Bears are a better football team. Now, the 49ers are at home, but I'm going to go Bears. And we'll go Rams. So last week of the season, does anyone not need to play? That's important. Has anyone clinched anything? Patriots need to win. Can the Bills overtake the Patriots because that's a... If they can't, I imagine they will. So let's say the Bills win and the Patriots lose. Okay, so both teams need to play, and I think both teams will win. Lions, Bears, and this game is essentially for the division. At that scary Detroit Lions field in January, Chicago Bears field. It's a big game. I'm going to go Lions. Bears have already clinched a playoff spot. I don't think they'll be fighting that hard. Chargers at Broncos. Look, the Broncos are at home. I think they're probably a slightly better team as well. Do the Colts need this game? And it looks like we missed a game for the Colts as well. Because they're... I wonder... Oh, yep, we did miss a game for the Colts. Niners at Colts. We'll give the Colts that win. And now we can go to Week 18. So Colts at Texans. Can the Colts get the 1 seed? Yes, they can. I think they'll do it. Yeah, I think they'll do it. I think the Jags keep their... they don't even have playoff hopes alive. Yeah, they can't even make the playoffs, so that doesn't really matter. But we'll give them the win anyways. Rams get the win. They need the win. I think the Chiefs drop... Do the Chiefs? I'm gonna go with the Chiefs dropping one of these games. I don't know if it'll be the Raiders game, but I think the Chiefs will drop at least one game. I think the Packers win. That game doesn't matter. Eagles definitely win there. I think the Ravens win and edge the Steelers out, and it's a win and you're in deal. Win and you're in. Now, the reward for winning isn't big because you've got to play the Buffalo Bills. But, regardless, can the Niners slip in? Nope. Niners can't slip in. What does Seahawks get for winning? The Seahawks stay the 5 seed, so they'll rest. Can the Panthers slip in? Okay, interesting. So this game is for the division. And I think the Buccaneers definitely take this game. So yeah, that's our seeding. We've got the 13-4 Pats, 13-4 Bills. Pats get the 2, Bills get there. Ravens just edge out the division. Steelers miss the playoffs. Jaguars just missed the playoffs. Colts get the 1 seed. All 3 AFC West teams make it. Very similar to the NFC North, where all 3 teams make it, and the Bears have a chance to win the division. And that's interesting how we could have Broncos Chargers for the division, Lions Bears for the division, and Bucks Panthers for the division all in 1 week. And let's predict the playoffs now. This is an interesting playoff matchup. So we got the Chiefs at Patriots. I trust the Chiefs more. It's a tough draw to play in round 1. Chargers at Broncos, a game that they just played. Identical matchup. That's insanity. And it feels weird picking the same team back-to-back weeks, because it's not like they're going to be resting the week before. Both teams will be trying. I guess I got to give the Broncos a win again if I predicted them the week before. I think the Ravens are a tough matchup for the Bills. I think the Ravens get their revenge. Packers at Rams. Packers can definitely cause a feisty game. I'm going to go Rams. Once again, not an identical rematch because it was Lions at Bears. It's tough to beat a division foe that's good. It's in the playoffs 2 weeks in a row. I will take the Lions, though. I will take the Lions. And Seahawks at Tampa Bay. I think the Seahawks get the job done. We've got... this is a tough matchup. I'm going to go Chiefs. I trust the Chiefs. Ravens at Broncos. I think the Ravens can get the job done there. Seahawks at Eagles. I just think the Seahawks are a better football team. Lions at Rams. Big, massive moment for Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. I think Goff gets it done. I think the Ravens win this game. It is weird how you play at home round one, then you play on the road, then you play at home again. And we'll go Lions here. And then we'll go Lions Super Bowl winner. So I've got the Lions winning it all.